is the wonderful latest invention of modern science. It has opened the door of innovative education systems. It has brought about a revolution in the field of information, communication, preservation, and data processing. Generally, our young learners are attracted to it as a sophisticated investigation to the young generation. It should be more flexible to the global education system through the Oxford Summit of Leaders. I hope our global expected that information technology will be more free to access by our learners. It is expected that information technology will solve lots of problems in our world. Science should be devoted to the greater welfare of mankind. We would like to conquer and overcome poverty and diseases with the help of science. So knowing and learning of science are very urgently needed to our global education system. Our moderators, speakers have focused their different valuable presentation here. So I am very much hopeful that we will be able to build one society in the world in technology sectors very soon. It is my pleasure to meet you all in this auspicious event. Actually, all of my friends and rich knowledgeable people from different countries, from different universities, scientists, writers, researchers, has focused their valuable speech here. So we can be benefited from their valuable speech. I have nothing more to say because already all of my first speakers has focused a valuable speech in here. It's my pleasure. I am too much. I am overwhelmed, and I am very much grateful to deliver my speech here organized by the Oxford Summit of Leaders and Science and Education. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I wish you a good luck, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You have utilized 10 minutes exactly, and that was good. Ladies and gentlemen, we are a little bit into our time already, but we are going to take a brief session for comments and questions, and we are going to be very brief about that. But I want to quickly say, having gone through the presentations of these 5 scholars, you will all agree with me that we have gained a lot this morning, especially the presentation. I'm not just trying to judge, but you will agree that the presentation from the ladies was just something very new and interesting. And that I want to throw a challenge to all of us here. That personally, I think the whole world made a great mistake. From the history I have read about educational development, especially from the African perspective, a lot of emphasis was laid on sending the male child to school while the females were left. And I think even in the developed world, I also found that a lot of emphasis was laid on the male child being sent to school. And I said the whole world made a mistake. It should have been the female, because the world would have been better developed. But the challenge to all of us now is to ensure that all children are sent to school, irrespective of gender. because that is the only way you can develop the world. I give you a quick run of what has been presented so that I can remind you, so that you can ask the appropriate questions. The first presenter actually told us about e-learning in education, especially in open and distance learning, and he ended up by a quote saying, e-learning is not the next thing, but the thing now, and of course, that of the future. So I think we need to exploit more on e-learning if we want to ensure that we spread education. The second presenter, the success of training, especially postgraduate programs in health sciences and social work, especially from the St. Elizabeth University of Health and Social Sciences. And he also showed us how such training were making progress in many parts of Africa and India. While Dr. Aminul Adan Sharihu of the NTI showed us the modus operandi of the system of how the Institute is training teachers, has trained more than 1 million teachers in Nigeria, and he had showed us the academic programs, how they maintain quality assurance to ensure that you could train teachers through open and distance learning. That of Dr. Freda, I don't need to say because, of course, you watched a video film, and I know many people are asking for copies of your presentation and especially the video. But it is a challenging thing to find that this school is introducing children even to research into day-to-day problems in governance, in marketing, in politics, in administration, and I think this is something that is good for us to take home, to take to our various countries, and to advise our proprietors and proprietresses of schools to train children to bridge the gap between schools and universities, and between universities and industries. This is very good. Congratulations. And while Mr. Dash, who spoke last, emphasized on the use of IT in global education, the necessity to properly engage IT in education, and he gave us good examples like what we are doing through the Facebook now, LinkedIn, and all the other social networks that our children and even adults are communicating and educating themselves all over the world. I think we are really blessed with these 5 presentations, and I will request that we give them another round of applause before your questions. So I am going to give just 5 chances for either question or comments because we had 5 presentations. So I will randomly select. If you have any comment or question to any of the presenters, please indicate by raising your hand and we'll give you a chance. Are there? Yes? Yes, please. We will ask all the questions and then later on they will respond. Yes, I saw a lady.
Yes,
yeah.
I was just waiting for the microphone. Thank you.
Okay, please.
Tricia Jenkins, President of the European Children's University Network. I think your presentation, Freya, was a delight. And I just want to pick up on something that you said, the chair, because you said about schools working with universities to bridge the gap and universities working with industries. I think as coming from the Children's University, universities, as we saw the wonderful example in Kabira yesterday, universities can themselves also work in partnership with schools, but with children. And I think the future of learning is going to be that co-creation, where we do bridge the gap, those young people that we saw and their learning, to get that into our university systems without waiting until they're postdocs. And when we've already taken them through a system, I think is the way that we can change the future. I wanted also to thank the colleague from Slovakia. I thought that was an excellent presentation. And one of the things that came up, which was actually not directly related to yours, but that movement of knowledge, right? And the fact that the mistake was the knowledge went one way. And I think here we are in Oxford, and yesterday we had a lot of presentations about Oxford University and the money it makes and how it's on all the hierarchies. But what you're doing and what we're doing here is looking at learning in a different way. And what we give value to, we're talking about value-based learning. And that isn't always the highest on the rank and the highest on this, or even the highest bringing the money in, but it's value-based. So thank you.
Thank you. That was mainly comments on presentation. Any other? Yes, please.
I'm Mahuba from South Africa. I think over the past 2 days, I've listened a lot about future universities, children's universities, and the role of children. I have no doubt that there is something we can learn from that. But as you can see here, we all are products of the old universities. What makes us believe that we have actually fundamentally changed, and we can fundamentally change that which made us who we are? And much more deeper, if the children are going to take over the world, what is the role of adults in all of this? I would welcome any comments, because we have heard that you can live and mate and have children with whoever you want and so forth. So everything is open. So is there no place for us any longer?
Oh, no.
Or are we giving it away? I mean, are we doing like Gorbachev, who destroyed the Soviet Union so that he could be unemployed? What are we doing?
Thank you. A very challenging question, but don't be too excited. I will give you a chance to respond. Let us take all the questions first. We have 3 more chances, if there are. Anybody who wants to make a comment or question? 3 more chances. We just had 2, or we just go with the 2. Okay. Last chance, asking you if you have a question or comment.
Thank you. I was quite impressed with the lady on the university, children's education.
Introduce yourself, please.
I'm Josephine Akinyemi from the National Open University of Nigeria. I was very impressed with the way the children were doing research on governance, on medicine, and so many aspects of life. And my own is just a comment. What I really liked about what one of the boys said when he was supposed to be being a minister or something, and he said, to be a responsible leader, you need to take affirmative action, you need to be responsible for the actions, and you need to be transparent. I think that even those of us that are old can take this back and apply it to wherever aspects of our lives, even if we're not governors or ministers, but in whatever part of our life we find ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any more? 2 more chances? Okay. I think I will give the chance to the presenters to respond to the questions or comments, but I think most of the questions that need to be responded to are those from Dr. Freda. Would like to respond to the gentleman who asked what would be the role of fathers, you said, or the adults, if the children have taken over?
Well, I've always told the children, I have assembly every week, once a week, with the children. And I always tell them, I said, it's so wonderful to be with all of you, because as you grow old, as you grow up, I grow with you. So we talked yesterday and today, we're all talking about learning, advancing, evolving, and lifelong learning. So I think there's always something for us to give back and something for us to learn from the children and the children learn from us. So it's a very exciting era, I think, for us to be now. And for me, in the next 50 years, somebody said yesterday, when you're 50, you have to think about the next 50 years of what you're going to do in your life. So I think we are always learning and exploring and learning new things, not only by observation, by going to places, but we learn from the children as well. And now with technology, there are no boundaries. We keep on learning, and I've always said this, and I'm always afraid of this. I said, if you can't walk, it's all right. Somebody can wheel you. You can't feed, somebody can feed you. But if you cannot think, oh my goodness me. So we have to keep on moving our brains all the time until the last good night.
Yeah, I think it's good. As a moderator too, I like to tell my friend that they say, bring up a child the way he should grow. Yes. And when he grows up, he will never depart from that. Yes. So to you, I want to say that you are still a child as long as you have parents. So you were a child long ago, and what you were taught when you were a child, you will never forget it. So we are all children from day one till we die. So whether you are a child or a parent or an adult, you have a role to play. And I think if you imbibe these good behaviors to the children, even from the school, then you have given them a role for life. I think it's really very wonderful, and I say congratulations. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I am sure you agree with me that this morning has been very enriching, and I want to thank all of you, thank the presenters for their presentation. I want to give a last moment to the people at the table, as well as Dash, if you have anything to say before we round up. Yes, Dr. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I just want to say a little bit on the issue that is being discussed, the issue of bringing up children who will serve as leaders one day, who will take our position. But I think I remember in our country there's what we call a military school, where young military boys are being trained and brought up. And there's one magazine they call The Junior Leader. And I think I had the child I actually brought up who actually passed through that school. And each time I'd have a discussion with him, he has always been making reference. He has always been feeling as if he's just simply been trained to become a leader. And I keep wondering, I say, I don't think that is the right way to bring up children. My thinking is that the training and the mentoring should be about bringing up people to learn to do the right thing all the times. Not just simply training children to become leaders. Everybody must not be a leader. You must not be a leader to be able to make your contribution to the success and progress of your community and your country. So I think my idea here is that we should a little bit, keep away from, making children to begin to think that you must be a leader before you can make your contribution to the success of your community and your people. Rather, the training should be more focused on bringing up children who will be honest, who will be transparent, who will be dedicated to whatever they are doing. I must not be a leader to be able to make my contribution. So this is just the little digression that I want to make. When presentations have been made like this, just the one that has been made today, I've listened to what the children have said. Each of them is talking about leadership. I want to be a minister when I become a minister. If supposing this child does not become a minister, so meaning that he will not have any opportunity, he will not think of making contribution to the success of his own country. So I think this is my little contribution here. Our focus should always be, look, what do we do no matter what you do? How honest, how transparent, how hardworking you are. And then how can you be able to make your contribution to your own country in any way, not necessarily becoming a leader. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, I must agree with you that this is a very topical issue. Unfortunately, we've already taken more than 25 minutes into the time we're given, and if you have further discussion, you can do that maybe at ordinary times. Once more, I want to thank all of you for your cooperation and thank the presenters for a nice presentation. And at this time, we are bringing this to a close, and I would request that you give a clap to everybody in this session. Thank you very much.
Yes, we want to take a photograph. Ladies, can you come?
Yes, please come and take a photograph of the presenters.
Excitement slowly settled down from that recent excellent batch of presentations. We still have 3 or 4 presentations before this morning's session ended or ends. Now, because Professor Tenebe's disciplinary approach was so successful, I think that we will continue the clapping moderating for the rest of the morning. So each of the following sessions will be strictly cut off after 10 minutes with a 2-minute warning before the end of it. So can I please invite Dr. Patrick Kalifungwa up to the podium, please. Dr. Califunya is Vice-Chancellor of the Livingstone International University of Tourism. I think we'll take you straight on.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Patrick Kalifungwa. I'm the founder, president, and the vice-chancellor of Liutabim University, which is Livingstone International University of Tourism, Excellency, and Business Management in Zambia. Zambia is populated with 14 million people. It has a lot of tourist attractions. It is endowed with various tourist attractions, wildlife waterfalls, and the magnificent Victoria Falls, which is a World Heritage Site. Liutabim University was established to meet the demands and provide skills and knowledge to the indigenous Zambians so that they can partake in the tourism industry. Liutabim University has 6 schools: School of Law, School of Humanities and Social Sciences, the School of IT, the School of Postgraduate Studies. We did our first graduation last year of 150 students of the first class of the university, and 5 of the students were given scholarships by the UNWTO to go and study in Asia. The vision of the university is to provide education and skills to our indigenous people so that they can partake in the development of tourism within the country. The Vice-Chancellor has previously provided leadership, and he has received the Socrates Award from the EBA before, and here he is tonight. He will be collecting another of the awards. We are very proud and grateful to be here, and we are very proud of being associated with EBA. We believe UTEBM University is the university of the future, and we'll appreciate to collaborate with all the institutions that are available here and the World University of Consortium to collaborate with our university. Most of the information is being portrayed on the screen, so those are the few words I had for you. We are here to collaborate with most of your universities and institutions so that we can develop on the skills and the knowledge that we have. We do interact with a lot of other universities in terms of collaboration, both in Europe, in America, and in Africa. So the collaboration we're asking from you is really genuine so that we can interact, scholars interact with the students all over the world. We are a member of the UNWTO, the member of the Knowledge Network, and we're very proud to be here. Thank you very much.
Can I now invite Professor Aygun Attar to the podium? Hi. Yes, indeed. Listen, why don't you take...
Yes.
Merhabalar, sayın meslektaşlarım. Gel buraya.
That's okay.
Hepinizi selamlıyorum. Önce kendimi tanıtmak isterim.
Regards to all, I would like to present myself.
Ben Aygun Attar, Giresun Üniversitesi rektörüyüm. Türkiye.
I'm director from Turkey, Professor Dr. Aygun Attar.
Azerbaycan'da doğdum. İşgal altında olan Karabağ'da.
I was born in Azerbaijan, in Karabakh, which is now under, which was invaded.
Ülkemde Türkiye'deki 7 kadın rektörden bir tanesiyim.
I'm one of the 7 rectors in Turkey, which is a woman.
Bu toplantıda, bu summit'te bulunma nedenim,
the reason I'm in this summit,
geleceğin üniversitesinde kadının yeri,
is to think about the place of women in the university of the future.
Kadın erkek eşitliği meselesi ciddi bir problemdir.
Gender equality is quite a main issue.
Bu anlamda Malezya'dan olan değerli meslektaşım Hanım Frida'ya çalışmalarından dolayı teşekkür ediyorum.
Therefore, I'd like to thank my colleague Frida from Malaysia for the work she has been doing.
Hala dünyada okutulmayan, sünnet edilen, öldürülen, para karşılığında satılan kadınlar var.
In this world, there is still women that are sold, that don't have access to education, and that I would like to remind.
Üniversiteler toplumun elit kesimidir.
Universities are, or academics are elites of society in general.
O zaman bu problemin halledilmesi gerekiyor.
So we have to solve this issue first.
2015 yılı 1000 yıl kalkınma hedefleri için çalışmalar yapmalıyız Birleşmiş Milletler'in.
We have to work in 2015 to achieve the Millennium Goals.
Kadınlar eğitilmelidir.
Women have to get access to education.
Üniversitelerin güçlü olması için toplumda kadınların güçlü olması gerekiyor.
To have strong universities, we need to have strong women in societies.
Bu yıl Nobel ödülü Hindistanlı genç bir kıza verildi. Eğitim için yaptığı çalışmaları nedeniyle.
This year, the Nobel Prize has been given to a woman in India that worked a lot for education.
Hepimizin, bütün eğitim camiasının kendisi burada olmayan o Hindistanlı kızı alkışlamasını istiyorum.
I'd like that we applaud this girl that gets that Nobel Prize this year.
Bizim üniversite, Giresun Üniversitesi bir devlet üniversitesidir.
Our university is a state university in Turkey.
Bu üniversitede 30 bine yakın öğrencimiz var.
In this university we have nearly 30,000 students.
Az önce herkese yaptığımız sempozyumun sonuç bildirgesi takdim edildi.
We shared with you some minutes ago the final declaration of the International Symposium on Gender that we organized.
Güçlü üniversite için tüm bunların yapılması gerekiyor.
For a stronger university, we need to achieve these goals written on that declaration.
Ben kendim 3 çocuk annesiyim.
I'm mother of 3 children myself.
Hem çocuğu olup hem öğrencilere sahip olmak mutluluktur.
It's quite a happiness to have 3 children and also all these students.
Hindistan'da, Arabistan'da, Malezya'da, Azerbaycan'da, Orta Doğu'da, dünyanın çok yerlerinde hala kadınlar ölüyor, öldürülüyor ve ağlıyorlar.
There is still in the world women that are killed in different parts of the world, in India, in Malaysia, in Azerbaijan, in all these areas that we are coming from. It's quite a hot topic still.
Kadınlar savaş istemez.
Women don't want war.
Akademiyaların, üniversitelerinde barış istemesi gerekiyor ki istiyorlar da.
Academics should also claim for peace so that we live better.
Bu summit'i oluşturanları tebrik etmek istiyorum.
I'd like to congratulate the organizers of this summit.
Ama lütfen geleceği projelendirdiğimiz zaman önceliğimiz toplumun temel figürü olan kadınlar, Down sendromlu çocuklar, kimsesizler yurdunda bizi bekleyen yavrular olsun.
But please remind that our task should be as academics to keep in mind all these women, all the children with Down syndromes, for instance, but also those who are homeless.
Giresun küçük bir şehirdir.
Giresun is a little city.
O küçük şehirde büyük dünyayı, büyük dünyanın problemlerini düşünen bir avuç akademisyen var.
And in that city we have a little university like the one we have, and we have worries based on everyday life, but that concerns the whole world.
Şimdi ben o üniversitemi size tanıtmak istiyorum ve hepinize teşekkür ediyorum.
So now I will present the university movie we have done, and we thanks again all of you.
diplom değildi. Bu işgal altında olan bir topraklarda doğup büyüyen bir kadının dünyanın hard power'dan soft power'a dönüşünü izleyen ve burada women's power'ın da çok etkili olduğunu düşünen bir kadının sizlerle işbirliği için davetiydi.
So this was an invitation movie of a woman that was born in a land under invasion, and later on, despite the hard power of the world, turned to soft power and showed the power of women. So she invites you now for cooperation with us.
Hepinize teşekkür ederim.
Thank you very much.
Professor, thank you for that invigorating introduction to your university in Turkey. Can I now invite Professor Camelia Tolkan to take the podium, please?
When I have to. Will you please help me with? Okay. Okay. So, I think, in my opinion, that any professor wish at least to visit Oxford, but to get to speak in the front of such audience in such amazing place, it's a great honor for me, and thank you for inviting me. My university, it's a state operating university. It was established in 1945 by a royal decree by King Michael I of Romania. Our history began with 1945. There are 3 milestones in our history. In 1945, the Faculty of Agronomy was established. In 1962, the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine joined its faculty. And in 2013, so last year, our university took the name of his founder, King Michael I. Our geographic position, it's in, as you know, in eastern part of Europe. Our town, it's in the western part of Romania, which gives us a lot of opportunity to have cross-border projects with our neighbors, Serbian and Hungarian university. Before I present my city, as a short presentation, I would like to thank the organizer to the extraordinary city tour that we have prepared for us. And I don't know if you can imagine how emotionally overwhelmed I was when I found in this tour that your university here was starting its activity 200 years before my hometown was established. So it was a great city tour. Thank you again. In population counting in 2011, come out that our city was the 3rd city in Romania after Bucharest and Cluj. This is an airplane city view. It's a very green city. And some pictures of our very nice city. Coming back on my university, the mission is one, teaching and research, but Nowadays, it's most important to come into social life, so we are focusing in extension and consulting activities. So that's why we have, I think, a very good management, but administrative council, which is conducted by our rector, and the Senate by our president. The faculties, we have 6 faculties with 22 undergraduate specialization, 26 master position, and 2 big doctoral schools. We can cover, let's say, from farm to fork specialization. So it's a wide range of specialization in our university. We are trying to participate in many research programs, so Horizon 2020 is now our priority. I have mentioned here some of our achievements in research, but maybe you are asking why so little ICI articles. I can give you an explanation. We have going through 2 major periods. One period when there are money for research, but we are not having infrastructure, and now we are having infrastructure, but the money for research became little and little, so we have to do something. The advantages for our university, there are a lot of them, and from the quality manager position that I have now, I can tell you that our quality assurance system in the university, it's a very powerful tool for us. Also, our university has a very powerful infrastructure base for practical activities. So the students can do very many activities in practice. Also, our campus, it's a very good one. So I would like now to present you a short movie of our campus, and I hope you will enjoy also the music, which is a Romanian Rhapsody by our great musician George Enescu. Thank you. For going forward, I want to present the Quality Management Department, our Quality Management Department, in one slide. It was very difficult, and I'm not trying to talk about. I can talk about 1 hour about each of these items, but I want to point out our participation at the first quality conference, which was held last year in Bonn. And at this conference, at the same table, they are staying for the first time the English Quality Assurance Agency, the German one, and the French one. So it was a very useful for me conference, and from 800 participants, I was surprising to see that you can count on the fingers of one hand participants from academia. That means that in the terms of the quality assurance, it seems to me that academia quality assurance and stakeholder quality assurance are going now on the separate way. I was very pleasant surprised when I found out that at this important conference, another participant from Romania, Mr. Andronia, which is the representative of the veterinary college from our country, that it seems that now we are going on the same road, that it's very nice to highlight, very important to highlight. Very quick discuss about our research infrastructure. We have just finished a very important research infrastructure, over 12 million euro. I can send you more information about our facility, but I want to share with you a very small details, which for our management team was very important. In this facility, we have a lot of halls for teaching. And the member of the management team, they are very young. I am a part of it. So we have decided that halls to have the name of our teachers, our professor, older one. So we have set up 3 conditions: to have big achievements, to be retired, and most important one, to be alive. So at the opening of the building, we invited the retired teachers, and it was a great moment when they were seeing their name as an expression of respect from the new generation, let's say. Otherwise, it's a very big infrastructure. I can talk more about it, but I will send you all details if you are interested in collaboration in these topics of research. Few photographs from this infrastructure, and an older research facility. It's an interdisciplinary research platform in which we have accredited laboratories. One of them is for soil analysis, for food safety, and for GMO, genetic modified organisms. So, thank you for your attention.
Now, last but not, of course, least, we have the Dean of the Institute of Engineering from Tribhuvan University, Professor Bharat Raj Pahari, if he would like to please come and take the podium. No? Well, we are the poorer for it. Well, that basically, let me get back over. That basically brings us to the end of the formal session on education and science. It's been a long journey. It's been a really interesting journey. I find myself the difference between yesterday and today quite enormous. Yesterday, I felt somewhat depressed. We had a number of presentations from various parts of the world looking at the higher education, the tertiary education sector. And to me, there seemed to be a lot of confusion. There seemed to be a lot of suggestion that the higher education, the tertiary sector, had lost its way, had lost its purpose, and that there was a real need for reinvention. Today, I have heard a lot that encourages me to believe that reinvention is on its way. Now, if I take one small thing with me away from this conference, it will be the closing remarks of one of the students on the film from Chapaka School. And what that student said was, it helps me to learn what I cannot find in textbooks. Fantastic! Fantastic. My goodness, you know, I wish I could walk out into the street here and get the reaction to the students walking up and down the streets who seem to be very much dependent these days on cut and paste solutions to academic assignments. I know here in Oxford we have a tremendous concern about plagiarism. But with students who are discovering what they cannot find in textbooks, that whole area of concern goes away. There can be no plagiarism when you're discovering for yourself. So I applaud that enormously. And it just gives me such hope and encouragement that, yes, maybe the tertiary sector is confused, but pushing up behind it is this well-informed secondary education sector who will bring new life, breathe new life into the higher education echelons. So, wonderful. What else would I take away with me from this conference? Well, I think what I would take away is the professionalism with which everybody has presented areas of their own specialist topics, within ways that they have presented what the objectives and future visions for their own universities are. And that I've enjoyed enormously. I also enjoyed the question asked earlier by our friend and colleague from South Africa, who said, well, are we older people now redundant? Yes, if we continue to think in the way we thought 10 years ago or 20 years ago. You know, I'm probably one of the oldest people in the room. The world that I was born into was considerably different to the world of today. I was born into a world where, for a start, the expectation of living to being 60 or 70 was pretty remote. People were born into a very structured society where they expected to have a job for life or a profession that ran for life. Forget it, the world has changed. We now need to reinvent ourselves, not just once, not just twice, maybe 3 or 4 times. And if we believe what we hear from Baroness Greenfield, who gives us the depressing news that we're all going to live to 100 and more, then that reinvention is going to happen even more times during our life. So we are all part of this lifelong learning journey. And the sooner we start on it, the better we're going to become equipped to live with it and grow with it throughout our lives. So yes, I found those aspects tremendously invigorating. And thank you all very, very much indeed for making me aware of them. Now, we have got just 2 other items before we break for coffee, lunch, or whatever it may be. The first item is the award of some certificates. So, Marina, there you are. Ah, you have them.
We have the Club of Rectors member the certificates. I'll announce them.
Okay.
Come onto the stage.
Up onto there. My God. Right. Okay.
So everyone can see you.
Okay. Handing over to Ivan Savov while I climb up onto the stage. So, be back with you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ivan Savov, and I'm EBA Director for International Relations. Many of you have already met me, but I just thought I'd introduce myself very, very briefly. We've all had a long day, but of very interesting presentations, and I think it's high time now to have a motivative conclusion. And I promise you that this will be a very positive and motivating conclusion for all of you who have come to this conference today. We will start with inauguration or an investiture of a new member to the Club of Rectors. Many of you are the members of the Club of Rectors. Can I ask you to raise your hands, the people who are members of the club? Are there any? Okay, 1, 2, 3. So it's quite a few. Just to cover a short story of the club. The Club of Rectors was established here in Oxford. In fact, very much at one of our events in 1996. And a group of academics and university chancellors has come up with an idea that we should collaborate together, that we should promote education, and the idea was born right where you are now, and we have taken it all the way to the present day. Today, we have over 100 members from over 40 countries, and that's a fact, and we're very proud of this, that our geographic spin is now from Europe to Asia and from Americas to Africa. Yesterday, Dr. Pike mentioned a few spin-offs that they have from the enterprise, the Oxford Enterprise. Well, we have similarly had a few spin-offs, if I may call them so, from the Club of Rectors. And you also are part of those very interesting initiatives. The Almanac is one. The Speakers Bureau is another interesting idea when we take very interesting speakers over to you from Oxford and so on. And lastly, yesterday you were all part of signing the memorandum of the Oxford Academic Union. Without further delay, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome our new member. Welcome to the Club of Rectors, Dr. Vladimir Kramery, CEO and Rector of St. Elizabeth University of Health and Social Sciences from the Slovak Republic. Congratulations to you, Dr. Cremery. And I would just like to quote not an academician, but a great sportsman who you all have heard of is famous Muhammad Ali, just to really highlight the importance of community spirit within the Club of Rectors. And the quote is this: "When you are standing, your friends need you, and when you lay down, you need your friends." And I think that could be an interesting idea for the Club of Rectors, is that we all one big community and we help one another whenever we are in need. This brings us, ladies and gentlemen, to the second part of our motivating conclusion. We will be presenting the winners of the education competition. Just a few words about the competition. I'm sure most of you have heard of what it is and probably took part in it. But just to say that the competition was established last year. It was established to support the pioneers of new knowledge and to inspire others to follow their example, to develop a database of successful education institutions, to promote the best education establishments, programs, professors and lectors, to encourage the academic, creative and social activity of the academic staff, and to support professionalism and recognize innovative academic practice. It is my pleasure to announce the winners of today's competitions, and the first category is the Best Campus category. The winner is University of Agriculture Sciences and Veterinary Medicine, King's Michael I of Romania. I would like to invite onto the stage Professor Camelia Tolkan. The next category, Education, Excellence and Innovation, and the winner is Patrick Kalasa Kalifungwa, professor from Livingstone International University and Vice Chancellor of the same, from Lusaka, Zambia.
Oh my God.
Okay. Congratulations to you, sir, and wish you all the best for the future and for future implementations of new innovations at your academic institution. Our next category is the Best Lecturer category. So it's not only the Vice Chancellors, but also the academic staff that are winners of the competition. And the winner is Professor Abdul Sattar Ahmed Al-Alazi, the Charter Fellow, Chartered Quality Professional, the CQI, Vice Chancellor of Etihad University from the United Arab Emirates. The next category, Best Scientist. And the winner in this category is Associate Professor Dr. Rami Hikmat Fawd Al-Hadazi from Hashamit University, Jordan. Our next winner, ladies and gentlemen, is a scientist, is a medical professional, diploma winner of 2014, the international competition Stars of Health, Wellness and Tourism, Medical Person of the Year. I'm proud to announce the winner, Dr. Nahi Yasif Yassin, Professor of Cancer and Medical Genetics from the Iraqi Center for Cancer and Medical Genetics Research, Al-Mastarija University from Baghdad, Iraq. We have just a few more names to announce, so I would encourage you to stay alert and to listen carefully to the following nomination: Best Innovative Project. And the winners are, according to the online public voting, Dato Freda Pilus, the founder of Chempaka Group of Schools, Malaysia. I would like to join Dr. Pilus on the stage, Dr. Rizal, the chairman of the Chempaka Group. Would you kindly join? Okay, I was just advised that he's not here. According to the decision of the Expert Council, the winner of Best Innovative Project, and the project title is Development of Curriculum for Training in Solar PV Systems in Ghana, is Dr. Asay Karkwa, Ghana Technology University College. Congratulations. The competition is a truly international, and not only because the voters of the contest come from over 20 countries, but also the winners come from even more than that. I'm proud to announce the winner of the Best Innovative Project, and the winner is Anatoly Pikalov, the president of Environmental and Humanitarian Institute from Moscow, Russia. Our next category, the best manual, is the winner for this category is Valeria Mikhalevich, leading researcher, Doctor of Scientists, corresponding member of the European Academy of Sciences, Arts and Literature from the Zoological Institute of the Russian Academy of Science from St. Petersburg, Russian Federation. And you may be all interested to find out the name of the manual and its post-Cambrian testite foraminifera as a system in its evolution. It's an interesting book to read. And our next winner is probably following his very dynamic presentation yesterday with the Batman. I'm sure you all remember. I'm proud to announce the winner of the Best Student Career Supporter, and he just very well illustrated it yesterday. Mr. Vjevan Baselic, Senior Lecturer and ICT Career Counselor, Polytechnic of Zagreb. Congratulations. This brings us to two final categories. One was, in fact, featured in the Leaders' Times, which I'm sure you all subscribe to and read on a regular basis. The library from Plovdiv. And I'm very proud to announce the name of Professor Stefan Stainov Kostyanev, Rector of Medical University from Plovdiv, as a winner for the Library and Information Center of Medical University. It's a really modernized facilities, and as I say, we informed our members about it through our Leaders magazine. And last but not least, what would we do without our websites? Best academic website. And the winner is Mr. Ibrahim Juzavranic, Rector of International University Travnik from Bosnia and Herzegovina. And the diploma is being received on behalf of the university by Mr. Silvia Kraljevic. Congratulations to you, sir. I just would like to say that this brings us to the end of this session. However, we'll have a business session in Council Chamber for those who are interested in to meet our partners from the British Chamber of Commerce, starting at 2 p.m. And of course, we started with motivation, and I think that we should conclude with motivation. As you know, we have the highlight of our event at 7 p.m. tonight in this building, to which you are all, of course, invited. And we start at 7 p.m., just so, as a point of information to you. And as a last point, perhaps I should pass the word to Professor Netting. Would you like to say?
Two more things, actually. Before my final remarks,
I think our colleagues from Bratislava want to make a presentation.
Okay, can we invite colleagues from Bratislava?
Ladies and gentlemen, according to decision of the President of University of Security Management in Slovakia, as the chairman of Management Board, Professor Mesaros, we would like to award Mr. Netting for personal and institutional support of European Business Assembly by the Academic Star, which is the highest award of our university. A little bit dangerous, yeah.
Thank you very much indeed.
Congratulations.
No, I'm very honored. Very honored. Thank you very much. Thank you both very much indeed. And I only have one final thing to say to you before this session closes, and that is thank you to all of those who have signed our Oxford Academic Union Charter document. There are still some of you who maybe have not, and can I ask you during the break coming up to find that document, which I think is in the old library area, and to put your names to it for posterity. Good. Thank you all very much indeed, and see you this evening.